Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram with you on your cricket show, Cricket Happenings. And England have kept the Ashes series alive today with a win over Australia. But we really had a very, very interesting day's play. I mean, we didn't have the full day's play, but the match got over in the fourth day itself with England stopping Australia in their tracks finally, and England winning by 3 wickets. So now the Ashes series stands at 2-1, and definitely gives England a chance to go and try to level the series with Australia in the fourth Test match, which will be played at Manchester in Old Trafford next week, or probably this week. I wouldn't know the dates. I think it's next week, considering that they're going to get some good rest right now, and that's needed as well. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of burnout. Um, so I'll be talking about that game, and also congratulations to Sri Lanka. As I said, they have looked the best team these ICC Cricket World Cup qualifiers. As we know, Sri Lanka and Netherlands have both clinched their places for the World Cup in India. But definitely congratulations to Sri Lanka. They won all their matches that they played. They had to win. They'd only win a few matches to qualify, but they have done it. They've done it in a very dominating manner, and they look the best team according to me. Even though Sri Lanka and West Indies were the favorites, but it is Sri Lanka and Netherlands who will be going to the World Cup, who have qualified. And I just want to say a very small note for Netherlands. Well done, Netherlands, even though you lost to Sri Lanka, which is expected. But I have to say that Netherlands have really played wonderfully well. And also, let's look at the scenario in Netherlands. This is a team which does not have 5 to 6 players who are playing in the English county cricket, and they were not released. They could not come and play for Netherlands. To me, that is sort of a real question mark. But nevertheless, so I definitely appreciate, definitely, I really looking at the Netherlands spirit with these players, with all 5 players, very key players according to me. There's Real of Vander Marwa, who is a wonderful player. He's a totally, it's a 100% player. Then Tom Cooper, then Vander Gupten, Tom Meekeren, the pace bowler, and there are a lot of other names that are there who are not playing. And looking at the way Netherlands have performed, I won't be even a least surprised if in the World Cup in India they really give either a fright to some a top test nation, or probably they even upset the apple cart. So I have a sneaking feeling that Netherlands would be quite a handful for the opposition in India in the World Cup. Okay, now I'll be coming to that, but let's first talk about the Ashes. So today there was no rain. Play started on time, and England, as I said yesterday, 24 runs added. They needed around 227 runs, but it was Australia who was at the ascendancy, one could call, because they started picking up wickets at regular intervals. So basically, with the score on 42, Ben Duckett was walking back to the pavilion. He was LBW bowled Stark for 23 with 3 boundaries, and it was basically he was trying to whip the ball through the onside, and it hit his shin, and that was the end of Ben Duckett. So that was wicket number 1. After that, Zach Crawley, who was, I mean, as usual, he's a free-stroking player, but it was Moeen Ali, who actually, I'm told that he actually told the coach of the England cricket team, Brendan McCullum, that he wanted to go there and impose himself, and but unfortunately that was not to be. The victory was Mitchell Stark. Moeen Ali was completely, he was totally castled by Mitchell Stark. It totally, he was beaten by sheer pace, in my opinion. And it was gone. The footwork was all awry, and the ball snaked in through the gap, and the leg stump was flattened. So Moeen Ali was gone, and the score read 60 for 2 at that stage. After that, it was Zach Crawley who was joined in by the the accomplished player Joe Root, but Zach Crawley himself left with the score on 93 for 3. That was the third wicket to fall for England as Zach Crawley was snapped up by Alex Carey behind the wickets. He had a faint nick on it. In fact, he wanted to drive the ball through the covers, but the moment that Mitchell Marsh generated, it really resulted in Carey behind the sticks doing the rest. And that was the end of Zach Crawley. Caught Carey bowled Marsh for 44 with 5 boundaries, and the score read 93 for 3. And from 93 for 3, there was a sort of a stabilizing, not a very, I would say, a stabilizing, I wouldn't say really stabilizing. It was Joe Root who was there. You had Harry Brook at the other end as well. But Joe Root was the next person to depart as Cummins actually picked up his wicket. Now, again, as you know, Stuart Broad has been making David Warner his bunny rabbit. And today, this was Cummins, he has been, taking Joe Root's wicket a lot of times. He added one more to that list when Root went to actually pull a short delivery from Cummins, and the ball went into the air, and Alex Carey actually took the catch. And that was the end of Joe Root for 21. And suddenly, the Australians were slowly sneaking in with the score on 131 for 4. But Harry Brook was playing his strokes with gay abandon, which was good to see. He getting in some good form there. And Ben Stokes, the captain, joined him. Now, this was a prime moment in the game, and one thought that with these 2 wickets, which Mitchell Starc took, probably there would have been a real mayhem in the England camp, but it was not to be. So let's look at what Mitchell Starc did. Mitchell Starc did a double strike in that particular over when the first to go was Ben Stokes. He was strangled down the leg side, and Ben Stokes trying to glance it was caught behind by Carey, and he was gone for 13. And once Ben Stokes left, Australia would have had a lot of hopes because the danger man was gone. But then Johnny Barristow's wicket would have given more hope to Australia because Johnny Barristow lost his stumps to Michael Strong. Now this was, this was a very bad shot from Barristow, according to me. I mean, a half volley in cricket will actually be dispatched for a boundary, but there was a bit of a swing on that, and Johnny Barristow going for a full-blooded drive. But again, when you make the cardinal sin of playing away from the body, then it's all over. And that's what precisely happened. The ball crashed into the middle and off stick, and that was the end of Johnny Barristow. The score reading at that time 171 for 6, and Australia were closing in, one could call, because there was still not 100 runs, but probably 94, 96 runs still required for England. Definitely Harry Brook was there at the center, and he was joined in by Chris Wokes. But definitely one has to really, really praise Chris Wokes, how he made his presence felt, his calm presence at the crease. At the other end, Harry Brook was playing some very good strokes. He was really playing with a lot of common sense, and both really started doing all the hard work, one could call. At 171 for 6, it was real hard work for England, but it was done by these 2 batsmen, Harry Brook and Chris Wokes. And what a good partnership that was. That was the one which really enabled England to win this Ashes test, because it was 69 runs to the good that the partnership blossomed into. But then finally, when everything was looking that England was just going to go over the line, and that is the time Mitchell Starc got his 5th victim, which was good to see. He got Harry Brook pulling a delivery, but not getting enough elevation, and the ball skying up in the air, and Cummins picking up the catch. And Harry Brook, what a knock from him. A very, very good knock from him under the circumstances. 75, 9 boundaries. He would have definitely loved to do the winning hit, but it was not to be. And then Mark Wood, who has shown in this particular test match that what a good hitter of the ball he is. He came in and banged sixes. He hit Pat Cummins into the terraces, and then he went into a full-blooded drive, which beautifully was hit. One could call that went to the boundary, and there was not much to really worry about. But still, one thought the tail was just coming. But Mark Wood, again threw caution to the winds and started, playing his strokes. And probably that was the instructions from Ben Stokes. And then Chris Wokes, what a calm presence at the crease, did the winning hit. He was not out on 32 with 4 boundaries, and that was it. The Englishmen had the Aussies were stopped by the Englishmen in the Ashes series, and now and this was very well done, because one more loss to England would have meant that Australia would have retained the Ashes. But now England have kept the Ashes series alive, and they will go full throttle against Australia when the fourth Test match starts at Manchester in Old Trafford. And what a spell from Mitchell Starc! Feel for him, but nevertheless he got into some good rhythm there. 16 overs, no maiden, 78 runs and 5 wickets. His returns, 1 for 77. So Pat Cummins, 1 for 23 for Mitchell Marsh, and that was all over. The man of the match going to none other than Mark Wood. What a splendid performance from him. Full of heat, 5 for 34 and 2 for 66. And then with the bat, playing some breezy knocks to finally breezy knocks in both the innings to really get England over the line. Well done, Mark Wood. And now I'm shifting the onus here. We go on to the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifier finals. This is that Sri Lanka and Netherlands have already booked their ticket for the World Cup. But again, it was a formality. I was really waiting to see whether Netherlands can put up a real fight against the Sri Lankans. But no, it was not to be. It was one good thing that I would talk about Netherlands here is that they managed to restrict Sri Lanka for 233. So that was a job well done. So let's have a look at the bowling here. Logan Van Beek, 2 for 40, his returns of 10 overs. Ryan Clean, 9 overs, 142 runs and 2 wickets. Aryan Dutt, 9.5 overs, no made 1 for 51. Vikramjit Singh, 4 overs, 2 for 12, did a good job. 5 overs for 28 for Clayton Floyd, and Saqib Zulfikar, 10 overs unmade and 2 for 59. But looking at the Sri Lankan card, I thought the Netherlands did a good job, because it was a pitch which was not very easy for batting. There was a bit of a sluggish surface, one could call, with the ball really not coming onto the bat. But looking at the way the Sri Lankans played, they were bowled out. So that's a victory for Netherlands. If any team bowls out the opposition team within those 50 overs, that's a psychological victory. And that's what Netherlands did. And that was good to see. The Netherlands bowling out the Sri Lankans for 233. If you look at the contributions there, the highest contribution coming in from a debutant, I reckon. I'm just going to see whether he was debuting. No, he was not a debutant. It was Dilshan Madhushanka. No, sorry, it was not Dilshan Madhushanka. I was under the impression that Achahige, his name is Sahan Arachige. He actually was not making his debut. Probably he has played a few matches before, but he was the highest scorer with 57 of 71, which included 4 boundaries, 23 from Nissanka, 43 coming from Kushal Mendes' bat of 52 balls, 5 fours, 1 6, 36 from Charita Slanka, and Manindu Hasranga at the end, stroking 29 of 21, 2 fours, 1 6, 233 all out the Sri Lankans, and the Netherlands had to chase 234 for a win. And one was thinking, I wouldn't say the pitch was very, very difficult to bat on, but let's credit the Sri Lankan spinners for doing it. They bowled out the Dutch team for 105 to win the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifier finals and lift that cup as well. And looking at the bowling, look at the bowling. I mean, we know that Wanindu Hasaranga has been doing a wonderful job in this qualifier. 7 overs on maiden, 35 runs and 2 wickets. Mahisha Tikshana, I mean, he is a real match winner according to me. And he's the one, according to me, that the opposition batsman, Wanindu Hasaranga is definitely there. Now, what happens is that Wanindu Hasaranga and Mahesh Dikshana are combining well. They're operating in tandem, and that makes it very difficult for the batsman. One is a leg spinner, the other one is a carom bowler. He can bowl different deliveries as well. So I think Mahesh Dikshana is the man to watch in the World Cup in India. 6.3 overs, one made, and 31 runs and 4 wickets. And basically, Mahesh Dikshana and Manindu Hasaranga have the knowledge of Indian conditions, as they have been playing in the Indian Premier League. So that is also another advantage for them. But he picked up 4 wickets for 31 of 6.3 overs. And Dilshan Madhushanka, what to say about Dilshan Madhushanka? I mean, the other day he derailed the West Indians as well with some opening blows, and here he did it to the Netherlands as well. He struck the opening blows, and he is one bowler who is to watch out for in the World Cup for Sri Lanka. 7 overs, 1 minute, 3 for 18. He's pacey. He has that angle to the batsman as being a left hammer, and he is someone going to be really making some noise, according to me, in the power play overs. So it would be quite a challenge for the opposition in India. By looking at the Netherlands batting card there, it was only Max O'Dowd who was trying to rein himself into the situation, and he tried his best. But again, running out of partners really doesn't help matters. So Max O'Dowd was the highest scorer with 33 of 63. That was 1416. Other than that, there were only two people who actually reached double figures. Vikramjit Singh 13 of 14 with 3 boundaries, and Logan Van Beek remained not out on 20. But as I said, if you're running out of partners, you have nothing, because the tail was totally cleaned up by Mahesh Dikshana, and that was the end of the game. And what a game we had! I mean, definitely one-sided, because the Sri Lankans won by a huge margin of 128 runs. And congratulations to Sri Lanka. And let me tell you, my commiserations to Netherlands, but let me just there's no commiseration, because they already made it to the World Cup. But just one thing I have to tell Netherlands, that you really came there and really showed what you are made of. What ammunition you had in the tank, and let us say that you really, I mean, with this particular team, with 5 people playing in the English county cricket, not being able to come and serve their team, I really, really wish you a lot of good luck in India for the World Cup, because definitely I think with all those other players coming in, it is going to be the selectors are going to be the Dutch selectors are going to be in quite a quandary as to who to select and who not, and some of the players probably who performed well may also probably have to lose their places, which is very sad. But that is how it is, because there are a lot of other players who are playing the English county cricket, who might be bringing more substance to the Netherlands team. So I think Netherlands would be quite an opposition this time in the World Cup in India. So well done, Netherlands, and look forward to you. Making more noise in India in the World Cup. Well, dear fans and subscribers, an absolute pleasure to talk on this cricket show, Cricket Happenings, and I hope you all liked it. And now, again, as you know, it's a weekend cricket show, so I'll be back with you to talk about cricket next Saturday. Until then, it's goodbye.